Hi,
Hi, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm Alex.
And I'm Lex. Welcome back to You're the Prize.
When was the last time anybody gave you flowers?
You know what? I give myself flowers like twice a week.
Oh, do you
Does
have
that count?
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Do you have a market that you go to, or is it a ritual?
Am I allowed to say Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
My ritual is Trader Joe's.
I think
don't know
our
if I
guests
should
will
say
have
more.
feelings about Trader Joe's, but that's fine.
That is fine. Yeah.
What's the feeling when you're picking out the flowers, or when you set them?
I
up
think
on the
that, I
table?
mean, I don't think the experience of buying them there is like the best,
Mm-hmm.
but I always think about where in the house they're going to go, and it's like twice a week, it's like the house comes alive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I haven't got myself flowers in a while, but I should. Because there's a feeling of I think luxury with this thing that's there and it's for yourself.
Yeah.
And anyway, I think that's a perfect segue to
It
chat
is.
about our guest.
Today, our guest is someone who knows a lot more about flowers than, well, definitely either of us, but maybe more than anyone. Maurice Harris is a multidisciplinary artist known for subverting the traditions of floral design, photography, performance, and fine art, reshaping what it means to make beauty. He is one of the most sought-after floral designers in LA and one of the most followed florists on Instagram. But Maurice's practice extends far beyond flowers. And with his studio Bloom Plume, he builds communities and creates art where authenticity takes center stage and the rules of taste are joyfully rewritten. Maurice's work is both protest and celebration, a lush declaration that creativity is freedom.
Wow,
Maurice!
that was really nice.
Yeah, well, what did
I
what
mean, does
did
that
you
make
expect?
you feel like the prize?
Yeah, I mean, often people lean into has worked with Beyonce, has worked at Gucci, has done this, has done that, all of those things, and I'm always those are
Sure.
great accolades. I'm very proud of those things as well. However, the essence of my creativity and the essence of what I'm trying to do in the world was just surmised in that bio very nicely.
Good.
Thank you very
Glad
much.
you feel that.
Yeah.
Well, there's also this isn't just from our relationship with you. That's how you're written about and described, and anytime people experience the essence of Maurice, I feel like that's what comes across. And
Yeah, I think I've just, in the last few years, I guess, with my life completely being turned upside down, falling apart in the way that I have known it for so long, coming back to truly who I am and what I am trying to accomplish and how people are seeing that, I'm oh, I guess I have been doing that, because you just get so caught up in your own weird narrative around not being good enough, around failure, around you keep moving the needle. And sometimes when you just stop and listen to the things you have accomplished or how people perceive you, you can be oh, there's a different perspective, which I just really appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes if you're the fish, you don't know if you're in the fish tank or if you're in the air smelling, breathing the oxygen.
Correct.
And so it's good to have a mirror from outside to remind you that hey, actually this is how you're being perceived. And whether or not you realize that's your intention or that becomes your intention, I think that's a powerful reminder.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So speaking of perspectives and, mirrors, I remember the first time that because I had started following you earlier on Instagram when I was trying to curate and figure out what. And I remember seeing your floral artistry and this beautiful black man that was expressing himself. And that was really powerful to see on social media when the majority of my feed is not that. And then I vividly remember you dropping off flowers at a friend's birthday party.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, I'm at this party and I'm, one of one or whatever. And I look across the yard and I see you walking in with this huge bouquet, and your eyes were kind of also looking around okay, what
Here we go, girl.
Yeah, and
Da,
you just,
da, 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 da.
but you just stood, honestly, like that would have played in my head. Like that's what stood out to me. I'm just like, oh my God, there's this beautiful flower amidst a bunch of basic flowers, if you will.
If
you
you
know,
will.
if you will. But I think that's the, like, you do that. You like stop a room. You like have this light about you, these, you know, beautiful petals or whatever it is you want to call it. But I think that's really powerful and moving. And I wonder if you know as you're moving through a space that you're doing that.
Absolutely, 100 trillion thousand %. And the reason is because I've always stood out. My physicality has always stood out. My more effeminate nature has always stood out. My way of processing the world has not been so in line with how the average person is operating. And so when I would go from school to school, we moved a lot. And I would be like, okay, I'm really going to blend in this time. And I'm really going to act like blah, blah, blah. Child, it would work for like 2 hours, maybe a day, maybe, you know, it just was like so bad. And I understood very, very early that I'm only good at being myself. Like, I just don't know how to be somebody else. Like, I've literally tried.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. And so I went to majority white schools. And then my church world was all black. And so I always felt like a fish out of water from being in all white school. I'm the only black person there, right? And so I just stand out physically, all the things. And then in my church, like, my dad's the pastor, so I have to be like, all eyes are on me whenever I like walk in a room, and so I have to be extra. My dad was like, if nobody raises their hand, you better raise your hand and answer the question and have a solve or whatever. Never read the Bible once. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Completely uninterested. And I also am just like, I didn't understand it then, but like, I'm gay. Like, and I've always just been who I literally have always been the same person. When I came out to my mom, it just floored me that she was just like, oh, I can't believe it. What do you mean? I was like, girl, please, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like as I've navigated the world as an adult, I know that when I walk into a room, everybody's going to be looking at me. It just doesn't matter. It just always happens. Lately, my new thing is I'm photographing weddings all the time. And it's my little Chinese friend and me and my big black ass at an all-white. Usually, those are the people that are affording these fancy photographers and flowers and all this other stuff. And so I just know as soon as I walk in, and now I use it to my advantage. I use it as like a tool, which is how I have always, because I could use it as a hindrance and always like complain about it. Or I can just be like, well, this is just what it is. So like, lean in and get what you need out of it.
It becomes a powerful thing.
To be honest, yeah. Like, it's just one of my tools. So I know, okay, my friend Christina, who I photograph with, she goes in, she's super bossy. She's super like, I need you to do this. I need all this stuff cleared out of the room, blah, 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 blah. But again, her physicality, she's Asian. Like, people can take that. If I came in and I did that, I might be able to kind of get away with it because I'm gay. But in general, it's like, who is this big old, Like, it just wouldn't land the same. So I come in fab. Like, I have on all my jewels. I have on a great outfit. I have my personality on. And it disarms people. And it makes the focus back on them. And then they trust me because they're like, oh, he's going to make me look great. Regardless of what they look like, regardless of their style or anything. They trust me as an authority to make them look good because I look good, because I feel good, because I feel confident. And I think that translates. So that's kind of like a long way to say, yes, I'm aware that I stand
Yes,
in a
Maurice
room.
knows he's the prize.
Yeah.
And like where, when did you, I think, realize the power of that?
You know, I there's like a couple different moments in my life when I kind of noticed it. Very young, I was uh, I've always known I was kind of lightning in a bottle, but like didn't know what to do with that. So it would just, I didn't know how to harness that skill. So when I was in 5th grade, they do a play production of the Nutcracker. So it's like spoken, and then there's dance things, whatever. And I wanted to be the Snow King because you get to sit on stage and watch all the performances. And so I just like want to see all the girls dance and see all the things happen. Like, I'm like, perfect role. You know, I live in San Diego. I go to an all-white school. Are they making me the Snow King? No. In retrospect, I get it, but then I did not get it.
Yeah.
So I was cast as the Rat King.
Yeah.
You saw that coming, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of the soldiers. I was the lead, you know. And I stole the show. Like I died for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it just was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
To the point where I got acting scholarship.
Okay.
Like they like because a drama school would come in and put on the production for the school, and they were like, he's really good, and so I got a little scholarship there. So I kind of like knew there was something there, right? I've always been kind of a ham. I've always been on. I look back at photos of myself 3 and stuff when I didn't really know who I was, and it's just like ham. And then when I met my best friend in college, fast forward, she's so funny. This is like my gay mom, and she thought I was so tacky, like, and I was. It was just like so over the top, and she would just constantly like, but she was so loving and so caring. Never judged me until like years later. She told me all of this stuff, but like there was no room to say that. But would kindly, softly, and gently guide me to start to be like, she's like, you give people a lot of attention and you give them a lot of your energy. You just give it away. And she was like, I feel like if you could figure out how to turn it on and off, like a light switch, you would be very powerful. But you just like give it to anybody, anytime, anyway. And I just don't know that that's good for you. And that has stayed with me my whole life. She's not even on this earth anymore, and I still think about it all the time. And I remember when I met Beyonce, she is a person that has completely mastered the on and off switch. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what Sari's been talking about for years. Because like when she's just around, you're just like, who is this lady? Literally could be anybody. And then you turn a camera her way, or she goes on the set or whatever, and it's just like a completely different person. When she talked about that Sasha Fierce thing that she was into, like even though it was a little corny, it was like so real.
Yeah.
And it really resonated with me.
Yeah.
From that standpoint. So that's when those are 2 moments I discovered it.
You also talk about, when we were doing research, you talk about the intuition, being a baby and we're born with these balls of intuition. And I think as you've described, as a kid, you had lightning in a bottle, but you didn't necessarily know what it was. And so there's something inherent in us when we're young where we want to steal the show, or we are like, no, y'all are here to see my performance. I don't care if I'm a tree and I'm standing here, but you guys are here to see me, and you're looking through the crowd to see, are your parents watching? Are they filming? Like, I think that is really powerful to recognize that, and then to recognize that as you get older, that gets chipped away, or you start building a little bit of a box because you have to, conform and not offend people or be jarring or be so, because it takes, the focus off of them or whatever, and then you shrink yourself and da da da. You're not somebody that shrinks themselves, but you are also an artist who produces things for people, and I just wonder, what is that like to want to show up authentically, but then also have people say, hire you for that authenticity, but then say, but not that authentic.
Okay, so there's a couple different things here. One, when I did this seminar with my therapist, and it was really beautiful. It was really annoying, but like it ended up being really, really profound. And it was an inner child seminar situation. Lord have mercy. We don't need to get all into the details of that, but the gist of it was, in one of the talks, they talked about how we're all balls of intuition, and then, like you were saying, which is my belief system, and then we're taught to follow the rules to suppress our intuition and to use our brains. And so our heart is soul and our brain is logic, right? And so they're kind of at war with each other as opposed to in harmony with each other. So it's like, I don't know, when you go to kindergarten or something, and it's like, or first or second grade, when you have to put your name in the upper right-hand corner, first and last, the date, or the subject, then the date, then whatever. I don't know. Like, there were very specific ways that you had to do that. I don't know. But if you wanted to put your name, sign it at the bottom or put it over here. But it was a way to just start to get a uniform of people to all subscribe by one way of being, so that we can all be in relationship with each other. And so when I get back to following the rules, I understand, like, we all collectively stop at a stop sign. We all have learned these rules so that we can all drive on the highway together. Now, if I'm in the middle of nowhere and there's a stop sign, I'm not stopping. Sorry.
And how good does that feel when you're not stopping? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because
Through
I have enough judgment to know that I can see from all four sides that there's nothing going on. So it's fine. So I feel like I can bend that rule a little bit. Collectively, I understand, like, obviously, if there was another car or whatever, you stop. So we follow those rules. But not everybody has the best reason, or everybody's logic just gets so discombobulated that collectively we have to all participate under certain rules, because it's like, well, I'm just not stopping at any of the stop signs. I don't care. And it's like, well, I don't know.
There's consequences.
Yeah, there's consequences for that. The park across the street from my house, no dogs allowed. It's literally across the street from my house. My dog's going in this enclosed space to like play.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
However, I prioritize children.
Yeah.
So if there are children in the park playing, my dog's not in there. Or if he is, he's on the leash and we walk around. Like, so I feel like I have a good barometer of how to prioritize certain things and where I can fall into that. I understand the blanket rule of no dogs in here because people don't know how to act all the time, or people don't understand how to respect other people's spaces. And so I think I go through life with this unique understanding of like, this rule is important, this rule is not. This rule is like, I can participate in it. This one, I don't understand why anybody has to do this.
That sounds like you have, like, that's the balance of the logic and the intuition. And it's like, if you can live in that balance where, like, you haven't given up everything to the logic, which the logic sounds a lot like society, right?
Yes.
And it's not necessarily like for, the ultimate logic, but those are the rules. And then there's the intuition, which is the thing that comes from inside of you. And I think if you have a really strong, like, internal voice and trust also in that voice, where it's like you can balance those things, because you're like, okay, I know from inside of me what is right, how I like to operate, but I live in a society, so you can balance and go back and forth. Do you think that that is where people struggle?
Yes.
Is because, like, you get really keyed into just the logic, or maybe just the what's coming from inside of you?
Yes, I think we don't know how to balance those things. I think most people have suppressed their intuition so far down that they only live in their heads. And so, and then when their head's logic doesn't match, people start short circuiting. And so I've spent the better part of the last 10 years or so, 10, 12 years, trying to reintroduce my intuitive nature into my logic. Because they were kind of like, I always end up doing things pretty intuitively, but then like, because I don't trust it, I don't act fast enough, or I let something screw me over, or I don't pivot properly because I'm just like, no, we've got to stay the course. If we don't, and I'm just like, something doesn't feel, because I'm not a fact checker. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. And then I get 100 facts finally, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But then I've lost so much money, lost a lot of stress, a lot of that, blah, 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 blah. You go down the line, and it's like, oh, if I would have just trusted my intuition, I would have been a lot better off. So I'm not an expert at it by any means. In certain areas of my life, I'm really good at it. Other areas, I'm not. But I am very cognizant of this dynamic and trying to find that balance, because I think, where I really believe in this is when you look at kids don't do what you say, they just do what you do. Like, you're like, how does that kid know how to dance? And it's like, well, your mom's a dancer. Like, it's just in them. They're like picking up on these things intuitively. Like, I've never cussed in front of my child, but it's like, well, they know how you be talking. Like, and they just like pick up the phrases, they pick up the things. It's just, I can't explain it, but it's like, it's intuition. I think we have another sense that we just don't all the way believe in
We
yet.
kind of shut down, I think.
Yes.
I read something once that was like, the fact that we all learn to walk so young, like if we didn't learn until later, we would never learn to walk, because the amount of times that you have to fall down and kind of it's like, if you added like the logic layer to learning to walk, you'd never learn to walk.
You got it. It's the same, like, that's how I feel about Spanish. Like, I've taken Spanish forever, but because as an adult, I don't want to sound like a 3-year-old communicating, I default to English. Because I'm just like, oh, this is too hard.
Right. Because you judge yourself.
I feel foolish. I feel stupid. I can't get over the mistakes, right?
And that's what kids don't have. Kids never feel foolish.
No, they don't care.
Until they're taught to feel foolish.
You got it.
Right. You like shame them enough, and then they're like, oh, right, this is the programming.
And then we have to follow the rules. And then some kids are just like, yeah, no.
Cannot.
I can't do that. And then other people just fall deeply in line.
Yeah. Do you think that like there is something about being an artist and like an inherently creative person that just gives you, I don't know, deeper access to that part of your world? You know, it's like, I think we all want to be more keyed in to that like real truth in the center of us, but it does come more naturally to some people than others. And I wonder if it, as an artist, like you just have easier access to it because like your brain works in a more fluid way, or
I think it comes from not fitting in. You know, like, if I've been on a quest to figure out what the hell is going on my whole life, right? I was born into a conservative Christian family, not like conservative politically, but conservative in that, like, I've never seen my mom drink. I've never seen my dad drink. I've never seen them do any, if I heard my mom say the word shit, I would be like, oh my God, that is crazy, you know? So it's just very, respectability politics are huge in my family. And being gay was not great. But I always kind of knew I was different. I didn't understand what gay was, but I knew that there was something different about me. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what was going on. Like, why don't I fit in? What is this? And so I think not fitting in led me down a road of being more curious, of trying to find other ways of thinking about things, right? Where when I look at one of my brothers, who is a lovely person, but he just fits so perfectly into the world that my parents created for us, until I came around, there was just no reason to question anything, right? And I only questioned it because I just didn't fit.
Yeah.
If I would have fit in, I probably would be just like them too,
Yeah.
you know? And so I think that led me down an investigation of, like, I've lived a creative life my whole life because I don't fit in. So I've had to creatively figure out how to navigate. And so I think naturally that led me to being more of an artist and having an artistic approach to how to live and how to do things, because I don't know how to do it the regular way.
Sure.
Like, I can't figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
I have ADHD. I might be a little autistic. I don't know. And so the way in which the world was telling me how to do things, I couldn't do it. But, like, I would find a creative solve. So, like, oh my God, I've never really talked about this, but English was my best subject in high school. Never read a book. Never read the book.
But you got all the like grammars and the verbs and the adverbs and all that.
Don't even understand that.
Yeah.
But I paid attention in class. I knew how to, like, pick up on what other people were saying, and then I could kind of fill in and, like, find my way around it. Like, go find a text somewhere.
Sure.
Like, I'm taking all of these notes because I don't read fast enough. I was such a slow reader that they'd be like, there's 60 pages, you know, by tomorrow. And I'm like, John, I got in 10 pages.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
just be
reread
like,
those twice to get it. Yeah.
and I was like, I give up.
Yeah.
You know? And so I just was like, okay, I can write the paper, I can do it, because I can, like...
Well, you understand a story, right?
Yes.
And that's something that can, like, you hear people talk. You've heard stories your whole life. You may not have read them, but to hear them, I think when you understand the way that, like, that's how people connect. That's always how people have connected. Yeah. So to understand a story, I can totally imagine you being able to just give them something probably better than anybody else was giving them.
And it was just like a creative workaround.
Right.
Which is the point of saying it. It was like, I still wanted to do good. I, like, wish I could have read faster. I just didn't. So I was like, well, how am I going to get a good grade in this class by doing this thing? Okay, I just got to, like, and then I was a charmer. So, like, all my teachers liked
Can't
me.
imagine.
Same.
Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like, I took, like, honors biology my freshman year. It was like, it was the IB program, the International Baccalaureate
I could see
program.
you walking into a biology class in high school.
And it was wild. What was her name? I can't remember her name, but she was like a funny little lady, and she loved me. And I actually liked the class quite a lot, but my family didn't believe in evolution. So I just was completely checked out. The only F I've ever gotten on a report card. And it was devastating for her to give me that F, because she was like, I know he's a good student. But I was just like, this is, like, literally useless for my life.
Sure.
Because my family doesn't believe in this. So, like...
Did you ever say that to the teacher, though? To, like, give her a heads up of, like, why this was not going in? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But then, like, I got in a lot of trouble with my parents. And my parents were like, why did you get an F?
And
I
you're
was
like,
we don't believe in this.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you have to fake it. And I'm like, but I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, I was just like...
Yeah.
I was like, this got
solve.
really complicated. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I got so screwed in that scenario.
Yeah.
But again, it's like I was trying to find the creative solve.
Yeah.
And this has just been hard won my whole life. And so creativity was the only outlet that couldn't really be argued. Because it was my expression. And it was also where I got a lot of validation. I was one of the choir directors of my church, very young, in like 7th grade, telling like 40-year-olds what to do. That was crazy.
But also probably so seated in your truth of being able to...
I was the best choir director.
Yeah, because you, to the point about intuition and not being, you knew the story that needed to be told through the music and through the thing.
Yes.
You'd observed it. You knew what made a good
Yes.
Sunday service and all that. And so you were like, all right, like,
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
It drove people nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
Of
can
course. I'm
imagine.
sure. Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
What's the problem?
Yeah.
I
Like-
know what I'm doing.
like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
now,
the
in retrospect,
audacity
I'm
of
thinking
that.
about my niece,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
going through and telling me what to
You
do.
know.
I'd be like, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was just so clear to me.
Yeah.
And so I like always, because I had really great results, like it was hard to argue with me in these ways. So it was like my creativity was always like questionably celebrated, right? Because I also like gay shit, you know. I liked fashion. I wanted to like do photography and makeup and hair, you know, all that stuff. And so everybody was like, but they let me explore it, you
Yeah.
know. And so when I finally went to school, like or college, I didn't think that there was an opportunity for me to be like an artist, like a studio artist, because I didn't want to be broke and I didn't have an endowment. I didn't have any money. Like my parents didn't set me up for college in that way. So I was like, how can I work? What's the creative workaround? Window display, you get to be creative all day, have a main job. When that didn't work out, flowers. I watched my grandmother do flowers my whole life and make church lady hats and stuff like that. I can do this. And so then I just like stumbled into these other avenues, and then I can put my artist creative spin in these commercial venues, which is what makes it like interesting and different. And so the hard lesson, 20 minutes later, getting to your other part two of your question.
That's all how it's supposed to be.
So verbose, but here we are. It was a very hard lesson to understand that when people ask for my creativity, they're not asking for my creativity. And I think this is like something for all creatives across the board. When people ask for your point of view, they're asking you for something that is 10% outside of their reality. Which, generally speaking, is nowhere close to your reality.
Yeah.
They just want to tap into your world. They don't actually want to live there. And so whenever somebody would say you have carte blanche to do whatever you want, I fell for that maybe twice.
Yeah.
Because it does not go over well.
Yeah.
You know, you got to give me some parameters.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just not going to be your vision.
No.
And you're giving me money to execute your vision through my eyes.
Right.
So it's not mine. It's yours.
Right. You need the brief.
You got it.
got it.
And it took me also a long time to realize that when somebody's asking me to be creative for money, they're still paying me for a job. That's still a job. And so I'm not necessarily going to be filled up with my creative expression for that. And so as a result, I started to create projects that were for me. So that then I could separate church and state.
Yeah.
And be able to be like, okay, this is my creative job and this is my creative vision. And these two can have dinner together. They can sleep together. They can have fun, but they are not the same person. Be careful, use protection. You know, not trying to get anybody pregnant or get any bad diseases. So you got to be careful when you're mixing those two things together, because it can just very quickly turn into like thinking that it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Right.
And then again, it's a job and you get hoodwinked and you get really upset that they don't like the first 3 ideas you came up with. And you're just like, giving them the finger. And it's like, well, no, they hired you for a job.
Right.
Well, this is all the creativity I have for this. It's like, okay, Diva, knock yourself out. But it's a job.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if it's just our generation or what, but like we were hoodwinked into thinking that we could like make a lot of money having fun or like not actually working. And work is work is work is work. And work can be pleasurable sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's work. And so figuring out how to navigate that has been challenging, but now I feel much more free around that. I don't take it personally. You know, I was doing a Christmas install, or I know this is coming out later, but like I was doing, you know, installations for different clients and whatever. And if they would have just hated it, I would have been like, okay, cool. How can we make this better?
Right.
Or like, what else do you want?
Yeah.
Like, and when I feel like I can't handle it, I don't take the job on because I'll start losing money because it'll make me go crazy. And then I'm overbuying product. I'm doing too much. And then it literally ends up costing me money because I'm nowhere close to my margin because I'm insecure about what I'm presenting.
Which is so like powerful, I think, to realize that the moment your toe steps out of alignment and you're like, I'm literally doing the opposite of what I'm asking the universe for. I'm spending more. Yeah.
And the faster people get how strong and important your no is, still learning that lesson, the more free you actually become, the more money you're actually able to make because you're not expending energy doing things you know don't work.
Yeah.
With people who aren't going to get it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a client I had years ago who hired me because all of her friends loved what I did. And I was in line with all of their friends' taste. Her taste was not their taste. But she like admired them and liked their vibe and everything, and so wanted to participate and had the money to participate. So she would like almost try to outdo them by hiring me more than they would, having me do more. But like, she didn't like my taste. She didn't like what I presented. And at a certain point, I had to be like, I need to fire this lady.
Yeah.
Like, why is she hiring me so much?
She liked the idea of being able to throw around her money to then just to be able to say, well, I have this artist that does stuff for me
Yes.
or works for me. And the irony of you and being hired for that, but then also being like, but no, still just do this thing.
Yeah, she always wanted to kind of dictate. She wanted my name on it.
Yeah.
But she just wanted it very like her way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, go do it.
Yeah,
I'm not a technician.
Yeah.
I'm an artist that comes
Yeah.
in people's homes and does these things. And so at a certain point, it just like made me so crazy. And I was like, oh, because I would have to like sometimes redo things or buy extra product so that then when I got to her house, I would like have a pivot ready.
You were hedging.
Yeah.
For like when she was going to come in. I mean, the irony of it is that like she was so out of alignment. Like it's like she wanted to be like these friends and have the thing and like have that taste probably, but it's like that it still in practice felt wrong to her, and then it just made it miserable for both of you.
Yeah.
Yes. And so often as artists, the faster you can get out of those scenarios, like there's always another opportunity. That like if you are clear, if you're focused, if you're in alignment, speaking to myself, like the money is there. The jobs are there. The opportunities are there. It's just like getting dialed in.
Right. And trusting yourself.
Yeah.
That like when it starts to feel like that, when it starts to be kind of off the rails, the sooner you can get out, the sooner you can get into something that does feel right.
Correct. The other thing that I've really been leaning into lately that is stressing me out is get as a full-on artist, creative, ADHDer. My therapist is trying to tell me I'm an ADHDer. Like I'm a little...
Same. We share a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I'll let you blow that up if you want to,
it's
but
fine.
I wasn't going to blow up your spot.
We'll have to have him on and explain.
Yeah,
himself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sit here in the middle.
Yeah.
No, but he definitely, which I really appreciate because there was just no room for me to be neurodivergent in my everyday life. I think, I mean, I was raised on margarine. That's one molecule away from plastic, ladies and gentlemen. So something is obviously going on.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. There are just like things in our environment, and it doesn't surprise me that like we're all a little like, but when I go back, I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense, like that I might be on some sort of spectrum of some sort, right? I'm just very, very, very high functioning because I've had to mask in such an extreme way that it was just like, yeah, bring it on. What else you got for me? You
Or you
know?
see it as a challenge
Yes.
where it's like, you don't have to.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to take on those challenges.
But I have to.
Sure.
But I have
Sure.
to. You know, until you
Yeah.
get shut down and put in the hospital for 8 days and then you have to reevaluate your whole life. That was crazy. But the thing that
We
I've
can't
really-
just blow over that. You can't just drop that bomb.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I I was doing too much. Like, and I take on stress in a way where like I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm not figuring out anything. I'm
Because
just
you're just taking on more.
I'm just wallowing in my sorrows, like stressed out, like whatever, and not taking action. Where it's like I need to get rid of this person, but I won't do it because I feel bad. Because I have a lot of care and empathy. I can see myself in a lot of people and all that kind of stuff. And so people can prey on that really easily with me. And I allow that stuff to happen for long extended amounts of time. And if you know anything, labor is the most expensive part of any business. And so if something isn't working, whether you like the person or not, if it's not working, you gotta pivot.
Yeah.
And I'll live in a place of like helplessness and hopelessness because I can't read an email or whatever. But then it's like, who am I going to train to do this? Or who else can I trust? Oh my God, this is the only person that'll be able to do this, as opposed to being like, I'll figure it out. Like literally, because this is actually not working. And I'd rather stop bleeding money than to, like pivot. So all of those, not to get into too many specifics around it, but like I just had a staff of people that like knew how to, were good in certain respects, so not to completely dog them because I don't have an insane judge of character, but also knew how to exploit those little parts of me that were deeply insecure and deeply flawed at running a business. And so I, ended up super stressed, no money, ran out of money, and ended up getting shingles on my face and was in the hospital for 8 days. I've never been to the hospital before. I've never had anything extreme happen. And it was like I pride myself on having an immaculate immune system, even though I'm slightly under the weather right now, which is so annoying. And I think it's because I've been talking so much shit around having an amazing immune system. Because I'm convinced that people that are breastfed, I don't know why I'm saying
You have
this.
brought this up.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
have brought this up. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
It'd just be your white blood cells.
Yeah, oh, damn. Yeah, but I always feel like I was breastfed and I came out of a vaginal canal that you get all the good mucus when you like.
We're going to cut this.
No, this is excellent.
It's like made up science that like I just have in my mind.
I think it's not made up. I just think the way that you're talking about it is just
crazy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, don't cancel me on the internet for sounding insane, but I am obviously. So, as a result, like I literally don't really get sick or like things don't like I just can kind of keep going. Like things will happen, I'll get super stressed, and I can just like kind of power through it because that's just been how I've had to survive. Until the universe was like,
Enough.
oh, really, bitch? Oh, really? How about this? Have all the seats. In fact, have a bed in the hospital. And I was like, oh my God, laid me out. Like I couldn't. And like I went into the hospital on January 1, 2025, and came out January 8th of 2025. The fires were happening, started on January 6th, I believe.
That might have
And
been something else that was January 6th,
or 7th.
Yeah.
Might have been 7th. Oh.
Different year.
Yeah. Different
Whoops.
January.
I was like, why that date?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Different kind of wildfire.
Yeah, different kind of wildfire for sure. So in Los Angeles on January 7th, the day before I got out. Meanwhile, they would not tell me when I was getting out of the hospital from the day I got there until like one of the nurses randomly, and I can't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I'm like basically completely in darkness, like because I'm so light sensitive, and like any sort of stress, it just like was sending me. Thank God I was paying my insurance because luxurious experience at the UCLA, let me tell you. And as soon as those fires started, they're like, okay, well, you're welcome to go home now.
God.
And it was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, now anyways, so I get home and I still couldn't watch the news, look at anything, because if anything slightly stressed me out, I would have a debilitating headache for 24 hours. Like I couldn't, and I tested it twice. And I could not function. And so literally I just had to like check out of everything. Like my place was safe where I was, but I was just like, oh my God, I got to get all the air filters. I have to get this. Like I just was very like, as much as possible, trying not to think about it. I like went outside. I would barely go outside. Then I would have to go outside to walk my dog. And then somebody like coughed in my face. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And then I got my immune system was down. So anyways, all that to say, we try to do the most. We think we can do the most until you get humbled and you can't do it anymore. And the thing that I've discovered that why I said that, I don't even know. But where I was going with my story was, I'm trying to find power in the mundane and doing something every day. I find that as a person that has all the different things, I want to only live an exciting life. Things have to constantly be exciting. And so, but magic is made when it gets boring and you stick to it. And you just like suffer through, right? Because everything lulls and then it'll come back up and then lull and come back up. And so in that lull, I start getting distracted and trying to do everything else as opposed to sticking to the gun. And yeah, so the two things I've been doing to maintain that is I take photos every day. Walk around with my camera. I've taken photos every day this year. Maybe I've missed 1 or 2 days, but like generally speaking, I have my camera with me everywhere. And I also I'm working on this new series of content called Flowers to the People. And you guys started the episode being like, when's the last time somebody gave you flowers? And that's one of the taglines. And I love doing it. I actually love it. It's how I came back to my own creativity and creativity around flowers. Because I was very mad at them for a while. Because it just turned into logistics for me.
And expectations, probably.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, people want a certain thing and
don't want to pay for it. And then this, and then I'm expected to, and I was just like, oh my God, when I just make an arrangement and give it to somebody and there's a full-on smile and like people are very like just grateful and happy. You're like, oh, this is why I started doing this. I kind of forgot. And so staying consistent with that content, because it really resonates, where like I never really did content like that because it feels way too vulnerable for me. I'm such a cornball. Like at my heart of hearts, I'm just
because we're Cancers.
Oh, I know.
We are soft in the middle.
It is.
And it doesn't seem like it, but
it
we
is
are.
insane. And so I've been trying to really lean into that. And so the content really took off at first. And now it's in like this weird lull. And so we've been like, okay, we need to do something else exciting. Da, 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 da. It's like, no, bitch.
Just consistency.
Stay
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah. The hardest thing to do.
Yeah. Stop switching into the like high functioning, high masking.
Oh, it is making me crazy. But this is the work.
Stay in the course. Well, Maurice, when was the last time someone gave you flowers?
Oh, great question. I mean, technically I give myself flowers all the time.
Sure.
I make flowers around the house and I make content and I'll keep something for myself. When has someone, a person given me flowers? Oh, Lord Jesus. Wow, you've stumped me.
It's been too long.
It has been too long.
I literally have had an answer immediately for every question you've asked me. But yeah, it's been quite a long time. I feel like somebody's given me flowers for something. You know what? My friend Tim gave me an edible arrangement.
Not flowers.
Not
That's
flowers.
not flowers. These are flowers,
We
though.
wanted to give you some flowers.
We did, and we didn't plan it this way, but these ribbons all match your shirt.
Oh.
And we can't do arrangements.
But they're
we
so pretty. You got me peonies. Oh, it's every woman's dream.
Yes, yeah. We know you.
Oh, I love them. Thank you.
They really did. When you walked in and we saw
We
the...
were like, oh my
yeah.
God, it's the ribbons.
Yeah.
Wow. Nailed it. Okay, should we have a little flower class while
Yes,
we're at
give
it?
us a little
Yeah.
lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when you...
Yes, I should trim them or something.
No, I mean, you don't know.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
okay. When you get your peonies, to get them to do all this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to take off the guard petals. So when they're like balls like this,
Yeah.
like the tight balls, which is so impressive. I think that's why everybody loves them because
Yeah.
it's so impressive. This
Yeah.
to this. 2 lessons. One, as you know, peonies only come out in spring, but we're in wintertime. Why do we have peonies?
They're flown in from somewhere.
From the southern hemisphere. Yes. So like these are coming from New Zealand or Australia where they're in their spring season. So I always think that's kind of cool. So
Yeah.
now we have 2 peony seasons. We have our natural one in the United States in, May, June time. And then we have like December, January. Sometimes they'll last till February if it's like but then they also do this other cool thing. Sorry. Now I'm nerding out.
No,
on, like,
this is
what I do.
This is, yeah.
They do this other thing. So when you cut a peony and like it'll go back to sleep if you cut it at a certain stage, at this bud stage. And if you keep it at a temperature in refrigerators in a specific temperature, I don't know what it is. So it's not like me keeping information from you. They'll last quite a long time. And then they wake up again when you cut them and put them in water.
Got it. Oh.
And so they've gotten it down to such a science that like they're stretching out the time that we can get them even more and more. I'm sure they're trying to do it all year round. But like, the ones that have been in the refrigerator for a minute and they try to come back to us like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not really working.
Yeah.
So, but they've gotten it lengthened by a couple of weeks on either side. Okay, so that's just fun facts. But the thing that you want to do is you want to get rid of the guard petals. In nature, what happens is, if you've ever noticed this, sometimes this is like a little sticky and weird because ants will come up the stem and eat away the guard petals. So if you're working with them in a garden or you're working with them in like where they grow these for production, you have to hand do it because they ain't having no ants do this for you. And also, fun fact, if there is one insect, if they find one insect in your lot, they will fumigate your whole thing at the airport at immigration. Why is that interesting? Because if you've flown in and imported $10,000 worth of peonies wholesale,
This sounds personal.
Yeah.
they will fumigate all of it.
Oh, perfect.
Does it ruin them then? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, they'll still try to sell them to you. But you're like, something's a little off.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they got fumigated.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll help them.
And now they'll all come alive once you do that? Or
Yeah.
like open?
Yeah, you cut them. You can put them in so. I never put my water in cold water. It's like you drinking cold water, which is not good for you, ladies and
I love
gentlemen.
cold water.
Yeah, when it's hot outside, but like you really shouldn't be drinking that like for your water intake.
What am I supposed to be drinking?
Room temp.
Room temp.
Why?
Because your body is room temp.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So you're
it gives
shocking
it something
your-
to do. Warms it up.
I like that. I love that logic. That is incredible. I'm going to tell that to my friend Christina. She'll love that. But it does make your body work harder
Yeah, that's
to
what I wanted
absorb
to
the
do.
nutrients. Okay. Well,
Okay, so wait, what
if
are you
you're
doing?
trying to get your flowers to open faster,
Sure.
you put them in warmer to room temp water
Oh.
because then they'll absorb the water faster.
Like a person, it turns out.
Yes.
Interesting. Maybe that's
Unless
why
you
I'm
want your
dehydrated.
body to work,
What did I do?
which I love.
I
love
always
that
thought that
logic.
you got like when you got a bouquet of peonies, there were just like the good ones that would open, and then like the shit ones, and that's not it.
No. There are some that, again, if they're cut too tight, like they're probably not going to open. But all of these will for sure open. Even this one. This one's like a perfect little ball. This one's going to look really pretty, and they'll all turn into this. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Guys.
yeah. So
I feel really bad because I was supposed to bring you guys.
no, you
flowers.
weren't.
No, you weren't.
No, you were our
You're our,
guest.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were the prize.
Oh, I'm the prize.
You are the prize.
So I got flowers.
But I mean, like, yes, to bring it around to this, but as you're giving people these flowers, and a lot of the time their reaction is just like, they have forgotten that they're the prize. And I wonder, like, what does that feel like for you to...
Incredible. It feels so good to, like, come back to center, to, like, we live in, like, a bleak time. I don't watch the news because our therapist doesn't watch the news either.
No, he does not.
And I like his logic around it, which is if there's something I'm supposed to know, it'll find me. I knew Los Angeles was on fire because a nurse told me. Like,
Right.
you'll find out the information that you're supposed to have. And I also think for me personally, because one of my jobs is to be a light in the world, and I think I am supposed to bring joy and love, and that I have to just keep myself in as much as possible in that state, and I don't need to be bogged down. But I know it's there. I'm not staying ignorant around it, but like I know it's there, but I don't need to be inundated with the details so that I can still show up as a beacon of light for others. And then when I'm able to then like present the flowers to people, like it really does come from a very genuine place. And I mean, it's also kind of interesting because you're totally like profiling people. Like I can't give flowers to everybody, but you're like, something about this person seems like they need flowers today.
Yeah.
The craziest one so far was, there's been a couple, but I was a little like, I'm also very shy. People don't think this, but I'm very shy. I have to really work myself up to like to interact with people.
Sure.
Because a couple times people will be like, oh no, I've seen it on TikTok. I don't want it. And I'm just like, and I'm so
Yeah.
devastated.
Yeah.
And it hurts my feelings so bad. Like, because I'm so sensitive.
Yeah, but you're also like giving
You're
something
being
you created,
vulnerable.
to somebody.
Yeah. So I really have to like,
Yeah.
I know it's not personal or whatever, like people are in their own world.
No, it's playground trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I walk up to this lady and she was with her son and I was like, yeah, when's the last time somebody gave me flowers? She's like, oh God, I don't know. And I was like when you had your kid, you needed flowers? She was like, nah. And I was like, and then and I'm like, well, can I give you flowers? She's like, oh, that would be so nice. She starts kind of welling up with tears, and I'm like, oh, Lord. And I was like, what's going on? And she's like, it's just been a hard couple of weeks. And I was like, damn. Girl, do I know. You know, like, the other reason why I do this is to take focus off of, like, how my life is literally upside down. And it is not working the way that I need it to work. And I'm shedding, like, the ways in which I've been, the things that aren't serving me, but it's extremely painful. However, I'm trying to shift the focus somewhere else so I don't wallow in my own nonsense. And so hearing this lady, like, being like, oh yeah, it's been tough. And I'm like, well, take these flowers. Like, give yourself a little joy, blah, blah, blah. We post the video. In the comments somewhere, somebody says, I know it's been so hard. Oh, her kid's there. The kid is so cute. And he has a lot of personality and he's like cool and he's like dapping me up. And like, it was just like very, very cute and sweet. And she ends up actually crying and it was a whole thing. And then we put the video up and in the comments somebody says, I know it's been hard since you lost your baby's dad. And I was just like, whoa. Like, wow. Like, it was just like insane. Like, you just don't know. I just randomly kind of picked her. But you just
drawn
don't.
to her.
I was drawn to her. You just don't know what people are going through. And, like, that's a thing. Like, people don't know what I'm going through. And it's hard to talk about it. It just sounds obnoxious. It's my own making in many ways. But still, you're like, it's hard to, like, face yourself. It's hard to take responsibility for the life choices that you've made and feeling like you wish it was going differently or you would have done it differently if you could or whatever the case may be. And when you're able just to see somebody for who they are just for existing, like, it's really beautiful. So that's the vibe. Cornball. And I love it.
Good.
I love it. It's my new, I'm just letting the corn fly.
I wish more people would, but it is hard. It's like, it is vulnerable.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that is like the most difficult place to be with people.
It kind of reminds me of kids these days saying stuff is cringe or whatever.
Yes.
And it's like, what's wrong with being corny? What's wrong with, like, standing out or doing something different and just, like, literally showing up as authentically you, and there are people that are going to think you're corny, and there are people who are going to think you're the best thing in the world because it's different, and, you know.
Yeah, it has been an interesting pivot for me because I'm always so interested in coming across, like, confident, cool, interesting, and generally speaking, like, not vulnerability, but like the genuine, like, when you're super, super genuine in how you, like, care for others is always kind of like, oh, that's not cool, you know? And so, but I'm a living rom-com. Like, and it doesn't have to be romantic in that way, although I have found a little romance in my life lately, but I think that's a thing. Like, authentically putting a smile on people's face has been such an interesting pivot for me. Because normally, like, I act a fool or I'm, like, being outrageous or doing something slightly funny or whatever. And I like that too. I'm a performer, so I like to perform. But to be just very, very myself and genuine and like very authentic in that moment and still being able to put a smile on somebody's face is absolutely beautiful and very meaningful. Letting other people be the prize, you know?
Yeah.
But today I'm the prize.
You are the prize. Yeah. I think that's a great place to end it and a
Thanks,
beautiful
guys.
sentiment. And we love you. And
I love you guys too so much.
Yeah.
Oh.
We can't wait to see more of what you bring to the world.
Well, don't hold your breath.
Oh, that's not the right
I'm just
attitude.
kidding. I'm just kidding. It's going to be great.
He's like, I feel so good being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And, like,
And I'm like,
for 30
I'm
seconds.
never putting anything out again. Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm very excited for all that comes. Oh, I wanted some flowers too.
Well, here you go.
Thanks.
Thank you for being with
Thank you.
us today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I love running my mouth, obviously. So thanks for giving me a platform to talk.
You're
Of
welcome.
course.
And we will see you all next time.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of You Are the Prize. Until next time, go do something that feels like you.
And we hope that means liking and subscribing. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And don't forget to check out our other episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
This has been a Studio Stab production in collaboration with the Champ Effect and Alt Entertainment. Original music by Scott Martin.